Kia ora, my name is Andrew Urquhart, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you the new CEO of Christians Against Poverty, Sam Garaway. Sam, kia ora, thanks for joining us on Shine.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
And also Gemma. Now, Gemma, you have been a client of Christians Against Poverty. You've got an amazing story and testimony to tell.
Yes.
Looking forward to hearing that in just a moment.
Thank you, Andrew.
Firstly, though, Sam, tell us about Christians Against Poverty. What is the organisation? What sort of things are you guys involved with?
CAP has been around for 14 years in Aotearoa and partners with 150 churches up and down the country to provide free services around finances. So CAP Debt Help works with people in unmanageable debt, and CAP Money is a money management course that supports people to budget, save and spend within their means.
So, it helps set people free from poverty and helps them challenge that sort of debt mountain, but also, as the name suggests, it's Christians Against Poverty, very much motivated by your faith, and that's very much part of what God is doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess just to give you a snapshot of that, across that time, 1,900 people have gone completely debt-free.
Wow.
That represents about $86 million of debt and bills that have been repaid or written off. And along with that, as you said, it is not just the service or the specialisation working with people in finances, but partnering with churches, bringing hope and bringing the love of Christ to them. And a snapshot would be that 1,340 people have made a decision to follow Jesus and be part of a faith community, which is amazing.
That is an absolutely fantastic story. And Gemma, yours is one of those stories as well. Firstly, take us back to the situation you found yourself in when you were in need of CAP's assistance financially, that things had got a little bit out of control when it comes to income and expenditure. You'd accumulated quite a bit of debt.
Yeah, so I guess before 5 years ago, I was in a lot of debt. I was in denial of a lot of my debt. And I guess I just really struggled to live week to week. And it was just really hard for me and my family to survive.
How did CAP help you to put a cap on that, to become debt-free? What sort of steps did they put in place to help you tackle that debt mountain?
Just like Sam mentioned, they gave me tools. So they have the CAP Money course, which I did with Clint, who was my debt coach. They also had people at their customer service desk who I got to build a relationship with, who helped me through, I guess, whenever I needed to talk about certain things, or if I needed help with certain things, they were always there immediately. You just had to make that phone call. You build a connection with them, a relationship with them, and it was just through that support that got me to get to the point of debt-free. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. But the story doesn't stop there. And you mentioned Clint, he was your advisor, if you like. He came alongside you and helped you with the financial side of stuff. He also invited you to a camp, an event that CAP was holding. Now, we've got a little bit of a video clip here to look at as to what happened at that particular camp. Let's take a look.
Clint invited me to a CAP camp in Rotorua. I walked in with no worth. I actually sorted out a plan of how I could leave. And I was waiting in the kitchen, and Katie and Millie came and talked about God's love. I realized for the first time in my life that I wasn't alone. And I just remember sitting there, and I remember my heart racing. They just looked at me and I said, "I want that." She was like, "You can have it." And I was like, "No, I really want that. Like, everything that you guys are talking about, I want that. I want that." And that's when Katie said, "Well, you can have it." And I was like, "Well, what do I have to do to get it?" And she was like, "Well, it's free." And I was like, "Let's do it." And I gave my heart to Jesus. 4 years ago, I was really lost, but now I'm found.
That is absolutely fantastic, and I would encourage people actually to check out the full video that is available at capnz.org. But what a dramatic part of your story. I mean, as you were saying there, the gift of salvation is free, much like the CAP Money courses. But talk to us, Gemma, about the difference that made in your life when you made that decision to follow Jesus. How did your life change then?
It changed hugely. I guess before I gave my heart to Christ, I was lost. I just kind of lived on this survival mode, time frame kind of thing, and I was just a mother who just lived day by day to provide for my son, for my family. And after I gave my heart to Christ, you have a sense of purpose. I guess I have a sense of purpose to live now. I know what I'm doing. I have someone to turn to when I feel like things are crumbling down. I know that I'm not alone. I know that I'm loved, and I know that I'm worthy of everything that's set before me. So I guess if you talk about before and you talk about now, it's a huge transformation for me.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful story of hope. And Sam, you're a big believer in hope. In fact, that is the driving force behind Christians Against Poverty. Yes, you're setting people free from debt, you're introducing them to Jesus, but you really are peddlers of hope in communities around New Zealand.
Yeah, absolutely. For me personally, one of the reasons that I love the work of CAP is it creates that platform for hope. It meets that person in that moment of need. It says, hey, there is a plan for this, but also you're loved, you're valued, and there is a hope for your future.
Now, I appreciate there will be people listening to this and watching this at the moment on Shine that are in a number of places. Maybe they're in Gemma's situation where she was before, where they desperately need some financial support. Maybe other people watching that are saying, hey, I'd love for our church to be involved with doing something like this in our community. Where do we sign up? How do we be involved?
Yeah, capnz.org. So a tab there for get help if you find yourself in a situation like Gemma was, or get involved. So if you're at a local church and you're saying, hey, how can I be part of the solution in my community to meet the needs, click on that tab. Or perhaps you're in a situation where you want to support the work across the nation financially, you can click on the donate tab there at capnz.org.
A wonderful organisation to be involved with, capnz.org. Do check it out, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you.